Welcome to the Instructional Technology Workshop Series. Today we will discuss assessment tools. I am Dr. Rick Baer, the Associate Dean at the University of Miami. I am in charge of online learning at the Distance Learning Institute. I am joined by Dr. Beth Teagarden Baer, who is the Assistant Director in the Office of the Provost. In this faculty development series, we will be discussing interactive tools, instructional tools, and assessment tools. In the final session, we will host a live session where you can ask questions and share information. Today we will be discussing the following assessment tools: Weebly, H5P, Poll Everywhere, and Adobe Spark. Beth is going to begin by reviewing two previous tools and introducing you to Weebly and Adobe Spark.
In the previous two sessions, we discussed two tools that may also be useful for assessment. The first tool we'd like to review is H5P, which is an interactive content tool. With H5P, videos can be enriched to assess student learning in real time. You can also include assessment questions to help students demonstrate their mastery of new knowledge and skills. For the instructor, there are also features that assist with flexible and automatic scoring. To access H5P, visit h5p.org. In addition, you can explore options for assessment features under Examples and Downloads, such as interactive video, course presentation, or the branching scenario. You could even include a time-based arithmetic quiz. Here's what you might see if you visit the Examples and Downloads page on H5P. They'll literally show you how to work through different content. They have the featured options, which change regularly, but then below they'll give you a variety of options that you could choose for your particular course. Within this section, you could also look at things like specifically games or multimedia, if you just want to look at questions, or if you want your students to become involved in something on social media. You can limit what you might choose based on that particular content type. There's a wealth of opportunity and resources for you here on H5P. In the previous sessions, we also discussed a tool called Poll Everywhere, which may also be useful for assessment. Although Poll Everywhere is also an interactive content tool, the professor can use it to assess student learning in real time during a PowerPoint presentation. You could include assessment questions to help students demonstrate their mastery of new knowledge and skills. For the instructor, there are features that allow the students to visualize their learning and give immediate feedback. To access Poll Everywhere, visit polleverywhere.com and create content there, or download the app to include in your PowerPoint application. Explore options for assessment features under How It Works, such as competitions, question and answer sessions, attendance, and quizzes. On this page, they will show you live activities that can be used for your students, and within that they'll actually lay out what each one might look like. You could even do something as simple as take attendance. You can create engaging activities using a variety of question choices, and you can also share the polls and the slides with the people in your group. Down below, if you want to click specifically for education, they'll talk to you about some of the things that happen within that format to help you in your course. As you can see, it's a very useful tool. The next feature we'd like to discuss is Weebly, which is a creative website platform that allows students to actively demonstrate their learning. It enables educators to assign an e-portfolio to their students to allow them to demonstrate mastery and new skills. The features include an easy drag-and-drop website editor, a protective environment for students, powerful multimedia for assessments, and customizable designs. In our previous courses, our students have loved this creative opportunity to display their expertise in a personal way. Let's look at an example of a UNAB student's Weebly site from a previous course. Here is an example of one of our previous students, Nettie, and she is a teacher in the school system, and she teaches English. And what happened was, in this particular assignment, we asked the students to establish a site that would talk more about them, and then we gave them assignments throughout the course where they would then post those assignments and their responses in this format. So for instance, at the beginning we talked about introducing themselves, allowing them to tell a little bit about them and things that they enjoy, their hometowns, and a little bit about who they are. Within the course, they participated in an activity called True Colors and a leadership styles test. And within that, they learned more about themselves and their classmates as far as what their personality is like, as well as their leadership style. So here, we asked the students to assess what they learned and place that here in their e-portfolio. We also talked about their first day of school plan so that they would understand what they needed to do from the very beginning in order to manage their classroom well. Here is the result of Nettie's assignment for that particular week. We explored classroom management models, and she posted the things that were important to her and the approach she intended to take and what she felt would be important for her classroom, as well as learning in general. We talked about an inclusive classroom, and she talked about the things that are important in order to maintain that for her particular class. We also assigned them a classroom management plan, which she has attached as a PDF, which is acceptable as well. And we also asked them in the end to reflect on the course, the things that they learned, the things that are important, the things that they would take away with them back to their classroom. So we were able to assess the student's learning, and the student was able to display that in a very personal and meaningful way. We will post a list of the students and their Weebly portfolios in Blackboard if you would like to review some of the others and some of the creative ways that they displayed their learning in that course. To access Weebly, visit Weebly.com and then scroll all the way to the bottom. And search for education. Once there, it will bring you information specific to ideas such as a class website, as well as assigning it to your students. In order to create an account, you just sign up here and enter the basic information, and it is free. Once you're registered, you can choose from a variety of templates. And they'll even share with you the variety of features that are available. You can choose a subdomain for your information, and if you assign this project to students for an assessment, remember to establish the features you require and request that they send you the link to their e-portfolio when they are finished. It's a very useful tool. The final tool we would like to discuss is Adobe Spark, which is a tool for creating visually appealing digital resources. Assess your students as they actively demonstrate their learning. It enables educators to assign a visual project to their students to allow them to demonstrate mastery and new skills. In our previous courses, students have enjoyed this creative opportunity to display their expertise in a personal way. Professors can also model their expectations and give their students the freedom to display their knowledge. Let's look at an example from a student from a previous course. This assignment was given to the students by the professor who wanted them to demonstrate a commonly used item and what that item actually contained. specifically right down to its cell structure. Let's take a look. This student chose polycarbonate because of their love for skiing and snowboarding. This is actually a project that a student completed and submitted for their grade in this course. They looked at the goggles and what they were made of. They discussed the impact resistance of those goggles. As well as the information regarding the polymer chains below. They used graphs to illustrate the information that they had learned. And they even showed the variety of options for the goggles and the lenses that might be used. They even show some of the ideas for future lenses and the uses of polycarbonate for something other than goggles. They included their references below and submitted it to their professor. Now, the professor could have given them a test and asked them for information that would show whether or not they had learned it, but this was an opportunity for the students to display their learning in a very meaningful and creative way. To learn more about Adobe Spark, visit spark.adobe.com or ask your university technology team for access to the Adobe Suite. While you're there, you can see the variety of options that you can use for your students and that your students can use to be assessed in your course. There are even mobile apps that would make it more convenient for them as well. The University of Miami purchased a campus-wide license because of its powerful presentation features for our faculty and students. Adobe Spark is just one of the tools that we feature in our Narrative Techniques Workshop website. We will include a link in Blackboard for you to access these resources so that you can implement them in your course from the Narrative Techniques Workshop.
Now it's your turn. Select one of the tools that we have discussed and work on a project to demonstrate your new skill. Post your creation in Blackboard using the assigned template. Remember, we will be hosting a live session so that you may ask questions and discuss your success with us.